Democratic Republic of Sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
Welcome into the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene alongside once again, and it is football eve. We've got NFL football. Just what, like 36 hours? Something like that? Can't wait. NFL season getting kicked off. We got the Milwaukee Bucks are gone from the playoffs, but apparently the front office still believes that this is a successful season.
You're going to disagree for the square. You were the one seeing the East by a mile, and you got the hell beat out of you 4 out of 5 games.
We got a major injury in the NFL to talk about, plus another coaching change in the NBA. All of it coming on the way right here in the Sportsocracy. Follow us on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy. Don't forget to like, share, and follow all of it. And don't forget to hit the notifications button as well so you know every time that we go live here on one of the channels, whether it be Facebook or YouTube or wherever. Link to the merch store is in the description of this video. Don't forget you can pick up your wonderful coffee mugs. Your Roy Cooper made me wear this masks.
They taste way better if Tank doesn't put your coffee on top of Gatorade.
Oh my gosh. There's a little drop of Gatorade left in your cup, and it didn't get washed, and I just thought, hey, we're running out of time. Let's put coffee in it. He won't care. No, apparently he does care.
There's a little orange speck on the side that's just driving me bananas.
Are you one of those people? You're one of those people that like your food can't touch other foods, and
Yep.
Really?
Oh yeah, I'm one. But not only with the most things. They're like Thanksgiving. Yeah, just put it in a bowl. I don't care. But that's like the only day.
Really?
Oh yeah.
You have to have like little dividers in between.
I'm not that bad, but I'm pretty close.
Really?
You know what I'm really weird about?
What?
Putting coffee on top of Gatorade. I'm very weird about that.
It doesn't even affect the flavor.
God, then I accidentally drank yours that's like diabetes with a little caffeine in it.
It was a 16-ounce cup of coffee that had 2 packs of sugar in it. It's fine.
And it had 2 bags of sugar in it. It tasted like shit.
You are one of the weirdest people on the planet.
I don't like sugar. I don't like salt. I don't like cocaine. I don't like white powdery substances.
Anthrax. You can get down with anthrax.
Don't like that one either.
No, not even the band.
Nope. His beard's better than mine, and I don't like that.
That's right. Scott Ian does have a fantastic beard. That's always what I wanted to go for, but I'm stuck at 4 inches of length here. You know, that's the story of my life. Come on, Jeremy! I set you up perfect, and you still didn't.
He thinks 4 inches. Like he thinks he's 5'11".
What?
You heard me.
I measured myself the other day. Thank you very much. I'm 5'10"3/4.
Yeah. And I'm 6'8".
I'm close enough to 5'11".
Just call me Brian Scalabrine. No big deal.
That's it. I know Corey's got a tape measure back there somewhere. Corey, I need you to find us a tape measure. We're going to settle this once and for all. All right. So, in the NBA last night, we had the Milwaukee Bucks say bye-bye. Giannis.
They're not good. Yeah. I mean, they're not. This is not a playoff team. It's not a playoff basketball team.
Yeah.
They can get there, but this is going to keep happening.
Yep.
You have a problem of a mismatch of talent. And now I think you legitimately have to have this discussion. If you're Milwaukee, you can't feel good about retaining him.
No.
Like, you can't feel good that Giannis is going to go, yep, I want to do this for the next 5 years.
Nope.
Do you consider dealing him?
Yes, absolutely.
All the way in.
Absolutely.
I am 100%
deal
all the way in.
him as soon as possible.
But now the question is, who would actually be interested? Miami's sitting there going, he's coming to us regardless.
Right.
We just kicked his ass in the playoffs. He's looking at our team going, this is good.
You might be able to, I don't know. I don't know what teams would be interested in a trade. I mean, Miami comes to mind, but yeah, you make a point. Why wait? You know, why would they jump and give assets now when they know they can probably wait a year and get him for, you know, just the salary? They wouldn't have to give up any draft capital or players or anything like that if they wait a year.
Miami's not going to come off anything because they know all we have to do is sit back and wait.
Yeah.
Because we just showed him the path to righteousness, and all he has to do is figure it out.
Mm-hmm. What about Brooklyn?
I keep hearing Brooklyn wants to make a big deal, but I think it's for Bradley Beal.
Okay.
I thought it was Bradley Beal the whole time.
Yeah. But do you think Brooklyn could what do you think that team would look like with Kyrie, KD, and Giannis?
Well, you got 3 guys that need the ball. Not good. That's not how you want to do this.
Yeah.
Bradley Beal's the right call in Brooklyn.
I was just trying to think of what they could give up. I mean, they might be able to get Milwaukee interested in like Karis LeVert or
Spencer Dinwiddie. They have enough asset. The asset's not the problem.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that when you gut that team like that, you take away what's the perk of Brooklyn is that they have some depth, and that you're not going to have to kill KD and Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
You get rid of that, it better be for somebody that fits with them really well, and Giannis does.
Giannis does not. Okay. I don't know.
Plus, Giannis is a weird guy. He doesn't train with anybody else. He doesn't like to be buddy-buddy with everybody. Mm-hmm. He wants to be the lone wolf. And that's why, in all honesty, that's why I think Miami's such a good fit for him. Because Bam's a star that's not a superstar, and I feel the same way about Jimmy Butler. Mm-hmm. I don't think Jimmy Butler's a superstar. I think he's a very good player that's very low-key, very unassuming.
Ooh, I think he's right on that cusp.
Business trip, Jimmy Butler. Well, but think about what he said when he came in. He said, "This is a business trip. I'm not inviting my family. I don't want anybody down here. This is a business trip.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here on business."
Mm-hmm.
And he has done a fantastic job handling his business.
He has indeed. As they beat the Milwaukee Bucks 4-1 last night, it was 103-94. They hung in with him a lot longer than I thought they would. But I guess that lends credence to what you were saying yesterday. If Giannis doesn't
they're better
play,
without
without
Giannis than with 70% of it.
Yeah.
I felt that way going in. I feel that way now.
Mm-hmm.
But that team has a big problem. Of the pieces don't fit together in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Brook Lopez wasn't the first or second team all defensive guy that he showed to be all year. The defense fell through. They couldn't stop Miami and they couldn't score.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, now you have a problem. And what has always been my theory in the NBA, you better either be championship level or suck a lot.
Yep.
Either be real good or real bad. And Miami is right in this purgatory, exactly where the Atlanta Hawks were. This is like Mike Budenholzer's bugaboo of I can get a team to this point and I can't get them any further.
Yeah. Do you think a coaching change is on the horizon?
They love Coach Bud, and he's a great. I mean, who you gonna hire? And let's be really honest. Who you gonna hire?
Billy Donovan.
No.
Billy Donovan's available.
Another guy that can't get you over the hook. Woo. I see Billy Donovan in New Orleans and can't get away from it.
I do too.
I thought that was Kenny Atkinson all day, and now shit changed.
Yep. As soon as that announcement came out last night that Billy Donovan and the Oklahoma City Thunder are mutually parting ways, that was the first thought I had was, well, there goes the New Orleans job.
Yeah, mutually parted ways is media speak for looked at each other and went, nope, done with this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm if Billy Donovan doesn't take the Pelicans job, in my opinion, I think he winds up back in college next year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he should. And I'll be honest with you, when we talked about Jay Wright, the number one reason that Jay Wright would not come to the Sixers is what just happened to Billy Donovan. The Thunder would not tell him what the plan was moving forward. He's looking at Chris Paul, who's 34 years old, and probably not going to be in Oklahoma City next year.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to go young, and he went, no, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
You know, this wasn't they fired Billy Donovan. It was they won't give me a competitive team, so I'm going to go somewhere else.
Right. I thought the statement from Sam Presti, the general manager, was awkward at best.
No, Sam Presti's awkward. So
After
it doesn't shock me at all.
So they had a sit down between the two, and he said after those discussions, it became apparent that we couldn't provide him the information on the future direction of the team over the next several seasons to give him the level of clarity that he understandably desires at this stage of his career. Billy Donovan's looking at this as like, how long have I been a coach in the NBA? What's it been?
5 years.
5 years? Okay, I was going to say 6. So he's been a coach for 5 years. He's been in the playoffs now a couple of times with this team, and they've never had a good contending team. It's always been a one and done kind of a roster.
Yeah, with Billy Donovan?
Yeah.
He went to the conference finals his first year in the league with Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook.
Okay. See, my timeline's all off because it feels like this last year's been 4 years.
Yeah. It has. It has been 4 years.
But I mean, like, I don't know. I've never seen them as they are an actual contender team.
I did with Durant, but I mean, it's not going to happen. I mean, the thing you got to understand with Oklahoma City is this is a team that's up against it every year. The Bucks are going to be the same way. because this is not a big market team. They don't have big marketing dollars, and they're going to be up against it. So when you have superstars, they're going to be there for a period of time. This has been the NBA. This has been one of the problems of the NBA forever, is that teams like Cleveland and Milwaukee and Oklahoma City can develop stars, and they can't keep them because they can't give you what a Miami, a Dallas, an LA, a New York can give you, and they leave. Yeah, that's the way it goes. The only place it's worked is in Oakland, and that's because they had 4 of them together.
I think Billy Donovan makes perfect sense for New Orleans just because it's a college-like job.
I think he'll talk to them. I'm not positive that even if he's offered that job, he will take it. I think there is part of him that looks at it and goes, I can go back to college and they'll build statues of me.
Right.
I don't know that Billy Donovan looks younger than he is.
I'm just curious how old he actually is. 1965, so he'd be 55?
Yep.
55 years old?
55 years old. I don't think he's at the, completely start all over again with an NBA franchise point.
Right.
Now, the Pelicans are they have issues, as I've said, but they have so much talent that they might convince him. Other than that, I think he takes a college job. Because after this year, you're going to have 1,000 college jobs open. Do you know how many high-level college jobs switched coaches this year? It's 1, and we know the guy. It's Wake Forest. That's the only one. Steve Forbes at Wake Forest is the only major job that changed. I do not look older than Billy Donovan, but I do love that you really cling on to that. Billy Donovan looks old enough to be my dad. He is old enough to be my dad. Actually,
he is old enough to be your dad. Yeah, 33. He would only have been 22.
Yeah,
he'd be right there in those baby-making years.
But Patrick Holt gets me in my feelings every morning because he keeps telling me that AARP qualifiers look younger than me.
I think Billy Donovan in New Orleans makes perfect sense because to me it's a college-like job.
It does, which is why I'm not sure it'll happen.
You have developmental talent there that he can take under his wing and sort of treat that job like a college culture.
Oh, absolutely. I understand why you're saying it. It's just one of those things in the NBA when it makes too much sense, it never happens.
It never happens.
So,
right.
Wouldn't shock me at all. But something else happened last night that made all the sense in the world.
What was that?
The other game that happened last night.
Oh, the Los Angeles Lakers beating the Houston Rockets 112-102.
And that's where it is. That's this series in a nutshell. I think it ends in 5. James Harden was fine. Here's the problem. The Houston Rockets have the same problem that the Denver Nuggets have. You're letting your opposition shoot 55% all the time. They're getting easy baskets at will, and you can't win in the NBA that way.
It was a tight game up until about 8.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
But but did you ever really feel like the Lakers were in any danger?
No,
I didn't either.
No, because throughout most of the first half, LeBron was keeping them in it by himself. He scored 24 points in the first half. 29 points in the first half. And I felt like at some point, that's all, at some point the other pieces are going to kick in and they're going to take over, and that's exactly what they did. By the time, so it was close at the 8.5 minute mark. 3 minutes later, it was a 20-point game.
Who was the difference last night, in your opinion?
The difference last night? I'm always going to side with LeBron.
Up to me.
Who was the difference maker to you?
Rajon Rondo.
Okay.
Makes all the difference in the world. I don't think anybody can beat this team. As long as Rondo can stay healthy and can stay on the floor, I don't think anybody can beat him. I really don't. They're just different with Rondo on the floor. Having another natural ball handler, somebody that LeBron can work off the ball, and against this team, it's going to kill them. Because now anybody can defend him.
Yeah.
Whether they throw Covington at him or P.J. Tucker, it doesn't matter. They cannot defend him off the ball. P.J. Tucker has a shot at him on ball. When he's just running around like a crazy person, he's got no shot.
Yeah. I thought throughout the first half when it was real close and Houston maintained a lead for much of the first half, and it was just LeBron keeping them in the game, but they were matching up that small ball style. And do you agree with that? Should the Lakers be changing what they're doing on the floor to match Houston and try to beat them at their own game, or should they try to
it
go
depends.
bigger?
I mean, it depends. You're saying this like it was some. They had LeBron and Anthony Davis on the floor for 38 and 39 minutes respectively.
Mm-hmm.
So this was 10 minutes of it. Now, guys like, Dwight Howard is not really a thing in this series. JaVale McGee's not really a thing in the series because you can't play them.
Right.
Because they're a liability on defense. Because everybody on the floor for Houston wants to stay away from the basket.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, having two bigs out there, no. So yeah, I would say you have to match them to that point, but they still have Anthony Davis out there.
Right.
They still have LeBron out there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like they're matching them 5 guards. That I would not be in favor of. But I mean, what they're doing now, this is Lakers in 5, and it's not close.
Right.
I don't think Houston keeps one of these games within 10 for the rest of the series.
I don't know. Just it felt weird to me at times watching them go out there with. At one point they had on the floor, I think it was Rondo, Caruso, Greene, Pope, and Morris. I think we're the 5 out there, and I was like,
when you get
this
to the,
doesn't look like a team that's going.
When you get to the backups, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're trying to spell Anthony Davis and LeBron James, because they're so much better with both of them on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Spell them together. That's fine with me. You give up that 4 minutes, you can play small ball with them, play their little game, and then put your big dogs back out there and beat the hell out of them like they did.
Keep them within arm's reach, and then all of a sudden just punch them in the mouth like they did in the fourth quarter. Yeah. It's exactly what I've expected from the Los Angeles Lakers. I was surprised that they lost the first game of the series.
I wasn't. Vogel always had this little hiccup in Indiana. That the first game he always got out coached, and I don't know why, but it always happens.
Takes him time to get the lay of the land.
He needs a feeling out process for some reason.
Right.
So yeah, I mean game 1 was an aberration. Lakers in 5. I'm still holding on to my Nuggets though.
Well, the Nuggets do have a shot. Obviously,
they need to win tonight really badly.
Yeah, you get down 3-1 to
a team that's better than you. Flat out a team that's better than you.
Absolutely.
More experienced than you, more playoff tested than you. I'm taking the Nuggets tonight. I don't even know what the line is. I'm taking the Nuggets in the money line. I'm taking the Nuggets to win.
I wonder what the number's at here. According to ESPN, it is Clippers -8.
Yep. Nuggies.
The Nuggies +8. That's your hot tip of the day.
Yep.
Denver Nuggets. I like this. I like this team. I do.
They just can't play
But
defense.
I still don't believe that they can outmatch the
Mike
Clippers.
Malone's done a really good job, between the Utah series and Game 2 of this series with LA, of matching the chess moves. The problem with him is he can't think on the fly. When he sees what you're doing and he gets a night to stew over it and come back at it with something else, he tends to do a great job of that. If you notice that the Nuggets win like every other game, there's a reason for that. Because when he has time, he's a really good, really smart coach. And I think they're going to come out prepared tonight. Yeah, I'm taking the Nuggets in the money line.
Nuggets to win outright and even up the series. It's 2-1 in favor of the Clippers right now. We'll have to see if Nikola Jokic can be the force. Does he have to be the star?
Yes.
Or do you think it's a rotating piece at this point with him and Jamal Murray?
Well, there's a hiccup to both Murray and Porter in that neither one of them could defend that coffee cup right there. So, you need them to be good offensively, and you need them to play 30 to 35 minutes, but you need to be able to hide them. Jokic is who's going to have to keep them away from the basket. Because right now it's been way too easy. They shot way too high of a percentage. I mean, really, if the Clippers were even below 50%, I think the series would be at least 2-1 Nuggets. It wouldn't be 3-0. They got dominated in the first one. But it could be a very different series. But you can't keep them away from the basket. So how you fix that, I don't know. Is it more Mason Plumlee? Is it more? I don't know. You have a litany of bad defenders here. So
how about the Toronto Scraptors? Do you think that they can be the Scrappy Raptors again and get another one?
This ends tonight.
Really?
Oh, Canada.
They got handled in the last game.
They're going to get handled tonight, too.
Okay. We'll see if they can pull off. See, that's the thing, is that the Raptors need everything to go their way. They need to shoot complete lights out to be able to even be in the game and have a chance to win it at the end. and that doesn't lend yourself to a positive outcome over a 7-game
The
series.
Raptors are like we all have that friend that goes to bars and is like, oh, I pick up women all the time. No, you need everything to work exactly right.
Right.
You need to find that one girl that's the appropriate level of and you just keep going down the litany of things that you have to have.
Appropriate level of drunk.
Yeah, that's Toronto in a
I
nutshell.
love that you went there first.
Yeah, well, I mean, as a comedian, your greatest asset's a drunk audience. So, and I promise you, every person listening to the show just thought of somebody when I said that.
Oh yeah.
You had a name. Don't say it in the comments. That's not nice.
Those. But yeah, the Raptors are a team that needs everything to go their way to be able to steal a game. I mean, the OG Anunoby shot is still, that
if it wasn't,
that's how they win
If
games.
it wasn't for a miracle shot that that still defies the law of gravity,
right?
This is already over.
Yes, agreed. I absolutely agree with that. I think they're just Boston's too talented. They're too deep. They're too everything. Mm-hmm. Even though the Toronto Raptors play good defense, I mean Boston's defense is
Boston has a bunch of dogs, and the Raptors have a bunch of puppies. And that's the way it goes.
Good call. Good call. Also, along the NBA lines, or I guess we don't have anything else in the NBA.
Yeah.
Because we already talked about Billy Donovan.
Yeah, it's football season, so we're out.
All right, football. Let's talk some football. We've got the first game kicking off tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be on. Somebody just whistled at me.
I like how you thought it was at you.
Oh, they're not.
It was a phone, first of all. So.
Oh, your phone's whistling?
That wasn't my phone. It was a phone. Oh, maybe not.
No.
I heard it happen
Somebody's
again.
doing it again. Somebody's doing it. It's because I look so sexy in my Tom Brady jersey.
Well, that thing smells like the inside of an old wool hat because you've been wearing it since like Friday of last week.
Oh, stop it. It doesn't smell yet. I've been Febrezing it and spot cleaning it and everything.
Febrezing it.
Yes.
I want you to think about what he just said. I've been Febrezing the article of clothing that I am wearing.
You don't want to look. I've done this before. Have you never worn a Lucky shirt?
Yeah, for the game, and then I took
That's
it off.
No. See, that's a level of commitment.
I think homeless people do that. They wear their that's only. I said only wrong.
You say, oh, I see what you're saying.
Only shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that jersey a lot.
And you're going to continue to see it. I'm thinking about wearing it until we lose a game.
So Sunday.
Could be Sunday, but I keep warning you. Let us start out 1-0, and I'm going to be more insufferable.
I firmly believe there is a just and loving God that won't let that happen.
Okay. I think
the
it
level
does not
of
smell
sadness,
like mothballs.
The level of sadness that's going to be in him when the Saints beat them by 3 touchdowns is going to be palpable.
If we get killed, yes, I will be a little sad, but I don't think we're going to get killed. I really don't. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a really close game. And again, just let us start out. I'm seeing way too many of these predictions. They're like, "Oh, I'm picking the Bucks to win the NFC South." They're giving me way too much hope, and I feel like this is a perfect setup for a letdown.
It is, and I'll take the Saints.
Thanks.
I still think you're going to make the playoffs. I just think they're a better team.
Mm-hmm.
They're a more well-rounded team.
Because
their defense is markedly better than yours. You have the youngest secondary in the league. In a division with
Secondary
Matt
is an
Ryan
issue.
and Drew Brees.
Yes, secondary is an issue.
Yeah, you see how when I said that, you went, ugh.
Yeah. But there's positives.
Yeah, but you have Tom Brady and you feel great about it.
I do.
Hurt.
I do. I feel much better than when your team got Brett Favre.
We don't.
I feel like there's
we
some more
don't talk
tread
about
left on
bad
those
times.
tires.
We don't talk. Those are the bad times.
Although he didn't play bad when
He was
came
9-1
in.
and then his arm fell off and we went 9-7.
Yeah.
Because Brian Schottenheimer wouldn't stop making him throw 50 times a game.
So as we get ready for the NFL season, I'm going to ask you again as we get closer and closer here. Is there any developing theories or
I have a theory on every team in the
that
league.
you're going on?
I have a theory on every team in the league.
Okay.
You name any team in one sentence. I mean, I'm going to use the Colin Cowherd line. He goes 3 words, I'll go 1 sentence. I can tell you every team in the league in 1 sentence or less.
In 1 sentence or less. All right, so let's try this out. Let's go. Oh, let's go Indianapolis Colts.
Rivers is better than Brissett, but I still don't believe they can win the division.
Okay. Comma in that sentence.
There's going to be a comment in a lot of these sentences. Just let that be.
How about?
Actually, I didn't even say that one right. Because I do think they win that division. I don't think they can win a playoff game.
You don't think they can win a playoff game? Okay. Well, let's stay in.
Patrick Holt said the Washington football team. I don't believe in Dwayne Haskins, but I do believe in Ron Rivera.
Okay.
That team will win more games than they're projected to. I think the over/under on them is 4.5. Might be 5.5. I'd take the over on both. Just having Ron Rivera, they'll win 6 to 7 games. They're the 3rd best team in that division.
The pass rush, I think, is the biggest part for them.
Yeah.
But
defense is going to be
aside
fine.
from that, I don't know.
You need
what to
Dwayne
believe
Haskins
in.
to not turn the ball over.
Right.
Can he do that? Yes or no? I think yes, because I don't think they're going to. That's the problem. Is one of the reasons that I've been judging the Antonio Gibson thing is you think he can be a bell cow running back. First of all, no, he can't. But he can't pass protect, and so you're not. But when you have a quarterback like Haskins, and there's a lot of teams in this league that are that way, that you have a good quarterback that is on that fulcrum of being great or being average. You have to put them in the best position to succeed. Having Antonio Gibson as the guy that's pass proing him is not putting him in the best position to succeed, which is why I didn't love the decision to cut Adrian Peterson. I understand why you wouldn't want to give carries to a 35-year-old running back. I understand that. But you need that guy to help your quarterback, especially because they're not great at tight end either. So I would say they're going to win more than Vegas would let you believe. They're going to win some games they shouldn't. And it's going to look brighter at the end of this year than it looked at in last year.
Ceiling is 7? Or are you thinking go
Probably.
higher?
I would say it's 7.
Yeah.
I really think the ceiling's. I think it's 6.
Okay.
I feel really good at 6. 7 gets into that. I don't quite know that's going to happen.
I don't feel like you're leaving too much meat on the bone if you were going to take that over/under on wins for the season. If it's at 5.5 and you think the ceiling's 6, that's a little too close to take that bet.
Yep.
How about let's go with the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's stay in the NFC East.
This one's really easy. Good, not great. Receiving core is garbage. Getting Jalen Reagor back will help, but there's way too many Alshon Jeffrey, Greg Ward. I mean, good God, how many? Let's say you're scheming against the Eagles. How much attention do you put on Zach Ertz and Miles Sanders?
All of it.
Do you just look at the rest of them and go, "You beat us.
Right.
You beat us." That's another reason that I look at Washington and go, they could be better than you think, because I don't think Philadelphia's as good as people think they are. I think Dallas is clearly the class of that division. I think they go 6-0 in that division.
I think Philadelphia is no doubt the number 2 in that division.
I agree, but I don't think the discrepancy in wins is going to be that big.
Right.
You asked me ceiling on Washington. Ceiling on Philadelphia to me is 8-8. I don't see how that team can be better than that. Because their schedule is ugly. And, the defense is good, but your secondary is still bad. I mean, you got Darius Slay. Okay, so you fixed one side of it. The other side is still a bag of balls. So, oh, and God, if Carson Wentz gets hurt, Kevin Vick said Wentz will get hurt again. Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
If that happens,
If they have to play Jalen Hurts, they're no longer the second best team in that division.
I'll agree with
They
that.
may not be the second best team in their own state.
Ooh.
There's only 2 teams in that state. Pittsburgh, Philadelphia.
How would they? Yeah. Okay. That didn't make sense.
Penn State. Give me Penn State that's not even playing.
Penn State.
If Jalen Hurts is their quarterback, they are screwed aggressively.
Pittsburgh University. How about the? Let's go with I like this one. The Atlanta Falcons.
Offense will be dangerous. Defense might be too. Different uses of the word dangerous. That defense is so young, and I say the same thing I said the same thing about Tampa Bay. I say about them. You have a young defense in a division with Drew Brees and Tom Brady. How do you think that's going to work out? I don't see any way they win a game against either of those two teams. I think that's 4 losses off the jump.
Yeah.
They always find some way to lose to the Panthers, no matter how bad they are. Yeah, I mean, it's meh. The Atlanta Falcons are the most ham sandwich team in all of football to me.
Whew.
They're going to go 7-9, 8-8, 9-7. Nobody's going to give a shit.
Really?
Yeah.
I would put them more as not like a ham sandwich because the offense is so good. I'm thinking lobster roll.
I like lobster roll.
Yeah, but the offense.
not that
the
good.
offense is the good part, and the defense is just the bread.
Okay, let's do this a different way. Then they're a pimento cheese sandwich.
A pimento cheese sandwich.
Really liked the cheese, lost me at pimento.
Okay. Maybe so. I like pimento, so it's just me. It's that olive. It's in the olive
don't like
family.
olives.
I know you don't. That's what I'm saying, but that's why I do because.
You also like sardine paste on it?
No, it's anchovy paste.
Anything that ends in the word paste, I'm out. You know why? Because I'm not a fucking astronaut.
Tomato paste? You don't eat tomato paste?
Not really.
You don't use
I
that
put it in
your,
chili. A little can of it in chili just to firm it up. That's it. But I also get heartburn looking at anything tomato. So probably not the path you would want to go down.
Okay. How about the Vegas Raiders?
They're better than you think they are, but they're still not great. They're the Falcons of the AFC. They're going to go 6-10, 7-9, 8-8, and is anybody really going to care? They're going to have a cute stadium.
A cute stadium?
They put too much shit on it. I said cute on purpose. That stadium could have been really cool, and then they started throwing out all kinds of stuff. Brad, I use toothpaste. I don't eat it.
Yeah, don't eat.
At least I tried. No,
don't eat your toothpaste. Don't do that. Even the orange flavored toothpaste is not great.
Who uses orange flavored toothpaste?
I don't know. I've seen it in the stores. Some people don't like that minty taste in their mouths.
It's toothpaste.
Oh, I get it.
It's
I'm not
supposed to
saying
be
I
minty.
use it. I'm saying some people don't like that.
Yeah, everybody knows what a breath mint is. You ever gotten a breath orange? That'd be weird.
I agree. How about the Houston Texans?
This team will win less games than any team you expect to be good in NFL history.
Okay.
I keep hearing people say they're going to win this division, and I laugh out loud.
I don't see how they win the division.
Other than the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're the worst team in this division. It's not close. Not even vaguely close.
I would agree.
I could see the Houston Texans going 4-12, and it wouldn't surprise me at all.
I got Indianapolis 1, Tennessee 2, big gap, Houston, and then Jacksonville.
Big gap.
And then Jacksonville. Yeah. Because
Jacksonville's a glorified college team.
I think Houston could still end up being a 500 team.
I do.
At best.
I do. I don't believe in Houston at all. I think Houston's going to get scattered, smothered, and covered tomorrow night. You could tell me the line on that game was 20, and I'd go, Chiefs.
Chiefs. You think it's going to be that big of a blowout?
I think it's good. You remember a couple years ago where we were so excited for football season, they gave us the Packers and the Bears?
Oh, yeah.
And it was just like a dry heave for 60 minutes?
Yeah, what was it, 6-3?
Yeah, it's god-awful. This is going to be the exact opposite of that. Because the Chiefs are going to score a bajillion D points. And it's going to be a whole bunch to very little.
I'm interested to see what Deshaun Watson can pull out of his hat.
Let's play a fun game with the Texans.
Okay.
Here's their schedule in order for the first month of the season. At the Chiefs, Ravens, at the Steelers, Vikings. Is there a snowball's chance in hell they win any one of those four?
If there was going to be one, I'd give it to Minnesota, but I doubt it.
Yeah. Nope. Out. Yeah, you're going to be 0-4. Then you get a sweet little Jaguars, Titans, Packers, Jaguars, Browns. But then you get Patriots, Lions, Colts, Bears, Colts, Bengals, Titans. There's a lot of losses there.
Yeah. Okay. Houston Texans, I think Bill O'Brien has done his damnedest
He's done his damnedest
to
to blow that team up.
Right. He's done his damnedest to destroy them.
How nobody's made a meme with Bill O'Brien's face with the Joker makeup and him in that little nurse's outfit just going... somebody needs to do that.
How about the? Let's go with the Chargers. Chargers are they're one of those teams. Some
I
people
love how
love
you
them.
keep
Some
giving
people
me these
hate them.
pimento cheese sandwich teams.
Well, because we already know what you think about the big teams.
Losing Derwin James hurts. Another team that's good, not great.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're better than most people think they do. Tyrod Taylor's not going to be the problem. The problem is going to be they don't have a running back to run between the tackles because Austin Eckler is not that guy.
I think their biggest problem is going to be health.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're cursed.
Yeah, I mean, Keenan Allen seems to be hurt, nursing injuries off and on all the time, and I realize he just got his money, and he's going to want to, he'll be all in, and he's great when he's on the field, but he gets hurt every now and then. Mike Williams is already dealing with problems, and he's going to be off the field for the first month of the season.
Which hurts. That hurts more than people will let on.
And then you've got Hunter Henry, who had a healthy season last year, but I think that's the only one in his career that he's actually been healthy for a full season.
Losing Derwin James is going to be a big deal. That defense is so different without him on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be able to get to the passer. I don't think that's going to be a problem. The backside of that defense is not going to be great.
Mm-hmm. We know that Kansas City is the Chiefs of that division. But after that, I mean, is Los Angeles the number 2? The Chargers 2, Broncos 3, Raiders 4?
I would take Broncos too, probably. The weapons for the Broncos are just so good.
Mm-hmm.
Losing Von Miller hurts.
Yes. Yesterday in practice, he really tore a ligament in his ankle, and he is going to be visiting Green Bay. He's going to go see what's it, Dr. Roberts or whatever his name is
Something
up there in Green Bay. The other specialist is not James Andrews.
Yeah, he does
So
tendons.
he's
Andrews does joints and shit.
Right, he's going to be done for the year. It looks like.
Yeah, which is it's really sad. You know, he had COVID and apparently was one of the few that actually had symptoms.
Mm-hmm. Because he has a pre-existing condition with asthma.
Yeah.
So
it's sad.
it is.
I still think that defense is going to be okay. I just don't think it's going to be as good as we thought it was going to be.
No. Retaining Justin Simmons obviously helped them out a lot in the defensive secondary. I think they'll be okay, but not great.
Secret time, I'm going with Adam Harris.
What's he say?
The Bengals are my upset pick this week. They play the Chargers.
Oh. Joe Burrow winning his first game.
I love Joe Burrow. Cincinnati, I'll do that one since it came up. Cincinnati's way better than you think they are. Period. On both sides of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I like their weapons.
They're 3 games better than Cleveland to me.
I could never get all in on a quarterback, no matter how good he is, until I see him. I mean, it's like the Peyton Manning. When Peyton Manning came in, he had his struggles as a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Andrew Luck.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Luck didn't come out on fire. And I'm not expecting Joe Burrow to do this.
Joe Burrow's going to come out and be real good. And they have Joe Mixon. That running attack's going to be good. The defense is going to be vastly improved.
Well, and the fact that they go 5 deep on wide receivers.
Yeah. They're going to be able to play a Madden level of offense that just having even an average defense will allow this team to be markedly better than they were.
Who's your dude in there? Let's talk some fantasy for a second.
Okay.
Because with the Cincinnati Bengals and all of those receivers and how that's going to work, who's your guy? Who are you targeting in all of that?
I don't get to say Joe Mixon here, I'm assuming.
No. This is all just wide receivers.
Tyler Boyd.
Tyler Boyd?
Not close.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Boyd is not close. I want nothing to do with AJ Greene because he burned me last year.
And he's already
on
hurt.
he stays hurt. He wipes his ass and tears something. If I had to have another one and I'm in a deep league, I'm all about Auden Tate.
Auden Tate.
I like Auden Tate a lot. I think he's going to be a very valuable red zone. So he's going to be one of those guys that scores a lot of touchdowns and maybe doesn't have a ton of catches, but he's going to catch a lot of touchdowns because he is a huge wide receiver.
Mm-hmm. I'm intrigued by T. Higgins. I really am intrigued by T. Higgins, but I mean, I don't think he's going to be. He's not going to be fantasy relevant immediately.
He's
I think
the
he's a
four
guy.
at best.
he's a guy that can be valuable late in the year when you're dealing with injuries.
Yeah, when AJ Greene goes down and he starts having to play the Z spot that AJ Greene usually plays, then he might be relevant, but he's not now.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. I think Boyd is my fantasy target for that offense.
No doubt. And I like him where he's going.
If it's not Joe Mixon.
And I like him where he's going. I have 2 more fantasy drafts tonight, which is why I look so tired. Because I'm seemingly doing one of these every 2 hours for the last 3 days.
And everything gets kicked off on tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is our last day.
I was going to say on Thursday.
This is our last day. This is what we've waited for. This is not a drill. This is that real.
How many teams do you have in contention for a Super Bowl right now? Is it a short list, medium?
That can win a Super Bowl?
That can win a Super Bowl.
Well, let's look.
Because I'm in on Baltimore.
I'm not.
You don't think Baltimore can win a title?
No, Lamar Jackson's your quarterback. Ooh, spicy hot take.
Jeez. That's bold.
You're giving me a quarterback that can't throw trying to win a game in January.
You keep saying he can't throw, but he threw fine last year.
Why? Really watch the games. Why? Because nobody can figure out how to stop him running. You had to put so much up there. Who really scares you over the top with that team?
Marquise Brown.
Okay.
Really?
He had 30 some odd catches last year. He was
for an average of 30 yards.
Okay. It wasn't nearly that many. He didn't even break 600 yards, and I know that without even looking it up.
Right.
I look at what Tennessee did and went, there's 2 of those defenses in that division. So I'm good.
Yeah.
I look at the rest of the AFC and just go, how the hell are you going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs? Oh wait, you're not. How are you going to beat? I'll be honest with you. I think Buffalo's better than Baltimore. I understand what you're about to say about Josh Allen. Before you say it, I'm well aware that Josh Allen's a running quarterback too. Here's what Josh Allen has that Lamar Jackson doesn't. Stephon Diggs, John Brown. Bills to me are the second best team in the AFC.
I disagree.
No.
I think it's Baltimore. I really think it's Baltimore. I mean, I think it's Kansas City obviously at the top. You've got Baltimore in there in the AFC, and I think that's it. I think there's only 2 teams that I believe can win a Super Bowl from the AFC. Part of me wants to say Indianapolis somehow could wind up in that area.
I like the defense, but
what? Phillip Rivers?
And the whole offense just makes me go.
Their offensive line is great.
Yeah, they're going to be able to run. I think they're going to
run
a lot.
2 amazing running backs.
You use the word amazing far more liberally than I do.
Okay, well, yes.
Kind of like everything else.
Shocker. Marlon Mack and Jonathan Taylor running the ball behind one of the best offensive lines, maybe the best.
I think they're going to be able to run the ball
well.
I think the defense is going to be fine. The secondary scares me. I look at everything in that secondary. First of all, my team is the graveyard for Indianapolis Colts secondary players because we have 5 of them. So I'm intimately knowledgeable of the Indianapolis Colts secondary because I keep looking at them going, that's probably starting for us in 6 weeks.
Right.
It scares me.
I think they would be my distant 3rd chance to win a Super Bowl out of the AFC.
I'll take the Bills over them easily.
I just don't. I don't believe in the Bills.
And I believe in the Steelers more than I believe in the Colts.
Yes, they're just on too rocky ground with.
I mean, really, you want me to be honest with you? I don't really see a path that Kansas City's not the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl. I don't see a path to it.
If I had to put money on it,
to take another one, it'd be the Bills.
If I had to put money on it, I would be right there with you. I don't think anybody else is coming out of the AFC other than Kansas City.
And I'll be really honest with you. I look at the NFC and go, yeah, I have 3. I'll be real honest with you. You give me the Chiefs, the Cowboys, the Saints, and the 49ers. I'll give you the field. I'll give you the field. I'll give you the other 28 teams in the league. And I feel just fine.
I didn't hear Tampa Bay in there, and it really upsets me.
You didn't, and I would have needed far more than 4 teams to get there.
What? In the NFC?
You heard? I didn't just stutter.
You are crazy. Are you still drunk?
No, I said to win a Super Bowl. I'm not talking about conferences or any of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to pick a fifth team, it wouldn't be Tampa Bay. If I had to pick a sixth team, it wouldn't be Tampa Bay. You have the youngest secondary in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what every team I just said has in common, except for San Francisco? They can light you up like a Christmas tree passing. Think about your. Let's just for posterity's sake, and I'm really not trying to pop your bubble the day before the season starts. Let's just say you find a way to win the NFC, and you play the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. How many yards would Pat Mahomes throw for? 900? You think he could break 1,000? Because he might.
Maybe. I'm not saying there's not going to be challenges.
But that's
I'm
why
just saying we're
that's
in a
why I
discussion.
wouldn't put you. I'm not saying you're not. I said I would take 4 teams and give you the field.
Right.
Because I think there is a huge drop off
Mm-hmm.
from the bottom of that to the next team.
See, I look at the NFC and I look at the Saints, I look at the Bucks, and the Cowboys would be my 3, but I can't.
Over the 49ers. Notice you still have not said the team that went to the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, San Francisco's my 1
Yeah.
in the NFC. And it's really not all that close.
I don't know.
They
I
can
don't know
run the
that I
ball
believe
down
in
your
it.
throat, and they have the best defense in the league. Yep, that's going to travel well. That'll
Oh, I
work in
agree.
January. That'll work in September.
I agree. They would probably be my 4.
In
But
the NFC,
yeah.
he thinks I'm still drunk. Jesus Christ.
I don't believe in Jimmy G. Never have.
Well, he's been to a Super Bowl, so,
I get that he's been to a Super Bowl.
and very easily could have
He
won.
got close. He got close to winning one. But I don't think he's the straw that stirs the drink there.
He's not, but he doesn't have to be. They run the ball that way.
Mhm.
That's what they do. And, I look at it with San Francisco, I look at them and go, there are very few impediments to them being really, really good.
Well, NFL football starts off tomorrow. Kansas City Chiefs, Houston Texans. Week 1 is
We
here.
will pick that game tomorrow from every angle. If there is a way to bet it, I will give you my pick on it. I may have 10 picks on that game.
You going prop bets and everything?
No, I don't
Just-
do prop bets. Really, I don't. I'll play them on Monkey Knife Fight just because we really like Monkey Knife Fight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. By the way, Monkey Knife Fight, set up your account now. Your initial investment is matched up to $50, and you get entered into a special drawing or a special contest. Excuse me.
All you have to use our promo code TANK.
Yep.
TANK.
There you go. MonkeyKnifeFight.com. No S on the end. Monkey Knife Fight.
Yeah, I always say Monkey Knife Fights. There is no S.
But the NFL is getting underway. I know there is still some people are still on the fence of whether or not this thing's going to work.
I heard Myron Roll talk about there's no way this is going to end. Stop that. I mean, what have we done? 10 trillion tests? And with 9 people have had it? I think we'll be fine. I hear these doctors that act like this is like the Joker's going to show up with in a helium balloon and just drop coronavirus on the whole stadium.
Yeah.
Like that's not how this works.
I don't know. You take the advice from somebody who knows more than you. And I'm like,
Myron Roll knows, and Myron Roll's forgotten more about everything I've ever talked about than I know.
Exactly.
But that's a dumb take. Like, just straight up, he's a Florida State guy, and he's my guy. It's one of my favorite Seminoles of all time. That's a dumb take. And you don't have anything to substantiate it.
Right.
Nothing.
Maybe personal experience.
Okay, you've treated a lot of sick people. Cool. I've got 4 sports that they found a way. Baseball, basketball, women's, the WNBA, soccer. Weird.
But I think
4 different ways it's worked for all 4.
To me, I think that's part of the problem, though, with some of the naysayers. Is like they're trying to be safe because they're afraid of the second wave, whenever or wherever that could come.
Pauly Shore, Arnold Schwarzenegger, the second wave.
But you gotta think about his personal experience. Myron Knoll is a guy who's been doing his residency at the big hospital in Boston, right? And Boston was pretty hard hit with it on the outset. I mean, there's a reason why all of the programs that you saw throughout the shutdown, all those programs that generated out of New York and everything, they were all freaked out about this thing because they were centered in the heartbeat of the outbreak, and the deaths.
And I'm telling you right now, the 6% of people died of this, or from this, not with this. If there's ever a legitimately scary virus, we'll eat each other within an hour. To the point of I'm keeping A1 sauce in my glove box from here on out, just to be sure.
Right. But I think you have to take that into account when you're listening to experts talking about
Now, here's
this.
what I've learned. It doesn't matter how many facts or how much you beat people over the head with, they're still going to take their narrative. Because that's the point we've gotten to in this life. That's just where you're at. Is who's the loudest? Who can talk the most, the loudest, and not tap out first? It's every Facebook argument you have ever in your life gotten into. You just go, I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore.
Right.
I don't want to.
I agree with you. I agree with you that the other sports have found a way to do this. Baseball is chief among them. Like, they figured out how to do this, how to stay distant, how to travel, all that kind of stuff. And since the first 2 weeks of the season began with the Miami Marlins and the St. Louis Cardinals, we've had one series canceled, two series
baseball
canceled.
figured this out.
Right.
I mean, I really think about that. They still send messages to each other through the Pony Express, and they figured it out. I think the NFL is going to be just fine.
I think the Cubs had a series and the A's had a series just recently that was canceled. So I feel good about the chances.
I've stopped having to talk about it, which I'm a big fan.
I also think it's funny that we're, because baseball moment of the week, we're 2 weeks away, a little over 2 weeks away from the end of the season and the playoffs beginning, and they still don't know what they're going to do for the playoffs.
Because baseball.
They're still talking about setting up bubbles and shit for the playoffs, but there's no plan right now.
There are about 20 words through this that starting tomorrow, I don't ever want to hear again. I don't ever want to hear the word bubble again.
But, well, you're gonna.
I don't want to take bubble baths anymore because I'm so tired of the word bubble. Or second wave. Or any of this other bullshit. I want to never hear any of that again. Well, it's football time.
I want $1 billion, and that's not going to happen.
Well, you also want to be 5'11", and you're not. So,
you bastard. In college football, there's still pressure from outside trying to get the Big Ten to have a fall season. There was a letter where 10 Midwestern politicians, all Republicans by the way, shocker, pushing the Big Ten to change its trajectory on having a late, what are they calling it now? Winter football. Having winter football instead of spring football. They want to push it back up to the fall. This includes Michigan's Speaker of the House, legislators from Iowa, Minnesota, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, all saying that the Big Ten is being placed at a disadvantage because of all of the other conferences playing.
Well, it's just, as I've said 100 times, it's going to make them look worse the more we go on. The more major college football goes off, and the NFL goes off, and baseball goes off, and everything else can function, and you cancel, it's going to make you look bad. Think about golf. Golf is the old man sport. That's the, what did you call it yesterday?
A pompous sport.
A pompous sport, where they think they know better than everybody. Yeah, guess what? This is still going to be a year where everything went off, except the Ryder Cup, which they delayed a year, into an off year. That's it. You're going to be the only sport that we look at and go, nope, didn't do shit.
Yep.
And you were one of the last ones to kick off. You had 6 months and couldn't figure it out. I still maintain I think they're going to play an 8-game season.
8-game
starting
season
in October.
Starting in October.
There won't be none of the Michigan teams, none of the Illinois teams. I don't remember. Rutgers and Maryland, they'll be out. But I think the other 8 will play.
In Iowa, I know that there's a bill moving forward in their state legislature to cut out all of the restrictions and everything. They want to get back to normal.
I want you to think about what I'm getting ready to say. In the state of Ohio, every high school team, both NFL teams, all of them are playing, and Ohio State's not.
Yep.
The most popular team in that state. That's the one that's not. Think about that. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you say that.
And it's the same way in Michigan, is it not?
No, Michigan's.
I thought Michigan was doing high school football now.
If they did, they've changed course in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Their governor pisses me off to such an end that as soon as I hear her name, I go, nope.
But Detroit's playing.
She's like Roy Cooper level for me. Just, nope, you talk, I stop listening.
Yeah.
My head hurts, and I don't want to.
I don't know. I still feel like if high schools can figure out how to make this work, high schools
And the Big Ten can.
Right.
Which makes you look like bumbling morons. And it's the truth. It's been I never thought anybody could make baseball look competent, but the Big Ten and Pac-12 did.
Right.
But nobody cares about the Pac-12 because they're out there with surfboards and Mai Tais and shit, and they don't care. Big Ten, they do. You know why? Because they woke up in Cleveland.
Right.
You ever wake up in Cleveland? You don't want to wake up in Cleveland.
Right. It continues to be one of the biggest political fights that we have in sports right now is whether to play or whether to not play. You've got high schools all across the country that are doing this, and high schools that don't have, I mean, we're not talking about the, hell, like the Dormans of the world. Like, you ever been down I-26 and seen Dorman High School right there across the border? They've got more money than God, apparently. But we're not talking about high schools like that. We're talking about podunk high schools in Tennessee that are figuring out how to make this thing work.
But the Big Ten can't.
But the Big Ten
And
refuses.
guess what? As time goes on, when recruits and recruits' parents are having to make decisions, they're going to look at that and go, you couldn't figure it out, everyone else could.
It's
So
definitely.
the residual effect of this in the Big Ten is going to be massive.
I want to end out the program today with the stupidest thing I heard so far today, which was ESPN National Morning Show was talking about the Milwaukee Bucks and how the front office of the Milwaukee Bucks feels like this season has really been a success. Okay. I'm going to need you to explain that a little bit more.
Oh, they did.
We sat out one game, and I don't see the effect. I think it took away more from what they did.
Well, there's a lot of people
in
that
the
are
playoffs.
saying that they were their focus was elsewhere.
Right.
Of which that's totally on you. If that's what you want to do that.
I think it's
But
true.
but if you're looking at a fan base and saying we got demolished in the second round of the playoffs as the best team in the NBA, and then you come out and say it's a success. That's, to me as a fan, and I'm not a fan of the Bucks, and my team didn't say it, so I don't have to formulate too much of an opinion.
I think it's just
That's an interesting tack to use. That's all I'll say.
I think it's just dumb for the front office to look at fans of this team and go, yeah, we had a great success this year. I mean, I get the social justice thing. It's bigger than basketball, whatever.
Agreed.
Okay, fine.
I agree with that.
Fine. But all in all, you're here to do that one thing. You're here to do the basketball thing. And to come out and say that this season is a success after you just got handled in the second round of the playoffs by the Miami Heat, not taking a dig at Miami because they're a fantastic basketball team, but to say that is a success, I think is very misguided, and I would not be shocked if that hurts you with your fan base as far as ticket sales and everything goes on into the future, because this is exactly why you continue to be a doormat in the NBA. If this is your focus and not the basketball, and you can say that this season was a success, it kind of explains why you are the Milwaukee Bucks and why we talk about you the way we talked about you. And they came into the playoffs as the number one seed, and the one thing that I kept saying was, this is Milwaukee. They'll figure out a way to fuck this up. And they did. They exactly found a way to fuck it up, and now they're going home. And for some reason, the front office feels like, yeah, this was something to build on. No, it's not. This was the beginning of the end, because I don't expect Giannis to be a member of that team probably next year. I could see him being shipped out somewhere. Somebody's gonna take the deal, and if not, you got one more year of him, and then he's walking in free agency, and you're getting nothing for him.
Yep.
Mixed up front offices, so much fun. Just hope you're not a fan of that team. It's the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene.
Yeah.
We'll see you right here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. where we will talk about the kickoff of the NFL season. We are just a short day and a half away from the kickoff of the NFL. Don't forget to follow and share and like the Sportsocracy on all of the social medias at the Sportsocracy. Check us out at thesportsocracy.com as well.